Alrighty, good afternoon everyone. This is Dreaming Crow coming back at you doing a book review today. Um, just for a little treat, I'm gonna leave some right-handed path books for a little bit and start focusing on more left-handed path books for those practitioners. Before we jump into that review today though, as a quick reminder, if you are enjoying these videos or you do like this video, hit that like button down below. Leave a comment, positive, negative, let me know how things are going, what I can do to assist you in getting you the information you need, or if you have an idea on a video that you'd like to see me do, I'll see about getting that done. If you are not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button below and you will be updated anytime I do new videos in the future. And if you already are a subscriber, I appreciate it very much. Alright, so thank you for joining my channel. And without further ado, we'll just jump right into that book review today. Today's book review is on Stephanie Connolly's book, Wortcunning for the Daemonolater, a Formulary for the Daemonolater Alchemist and Gardener. Okay. This book was published in 2015 by DP Publishing and contains a little over 180 pages, and it provides information for the Daemonolater on growing and cultivating herbs for the purpose of magical use and alchemical usages. Okay. One of Stephanie Connolly's main focuses on producing this reading material was to provide the magical practitioner with the much needed information on not only the alchemical uses of herbs, but also information on their cultivation and growing process. Okay, another key point that Stephanie Connolly makes is that it's always that a lot of the occult oils and oleums available on the market today are made from synthetics, and by knowing the process on how these oils are made, you do gain valuable knowledge to eventually make your own, if that's really something that you want to do, even if it's just on a smaller scale. And important as well is to stress is the fact that the text does state that, label everything. Always know what you have and always know what you're dealing with. Familiarize yourself with the Latin terms of the plants that you're working with, as well as their common name as well. And whether you're working with them in your garden or you're gathering them somewhere locally in the wild, always know what you're dealing with. It's a great importance to be able to identify a plant visually and through its characteristics. For example, chervil and hemlock, if you're an untrained forager and you don't know what you're dealing with, they look very strikingly similar. So, really understand what you're dealing with. Get identification books and, know what you're cultivating, know what you're foraging in order to protect yourself as well as others. Okay? In addition to the need for labeling and identification, she also states the importance of testing and checking herbs for allergens and irritant reactions. I know a lot of people have, different ways of doing this. They test it on the back of their hand. They put a drop of oil there or something like that to see if there's a reaction, or say like the inside of their arm. Know what you're dealing with before you, again, ingest anything, any type of herbal preparation. Okay. For those of us who are fans of Stephanie Connolly's works, this book is, a great addition to your library. We know that, she does have over 20 books and publications. And this book alone, she did produce, um, probably for the, I'm not going to say for the sole purpose of having everything in one spot, but you have to understand that, again, she has over 20 books in publication, and she also has, I can only imagine, someone of her stature, having, plenty of journal entries and notes on different things. And, now you don't have to go running around and saying, oh, I think that, alchemical formula is in this particular book, and you have to go run it. Not everything is right here. Okay, just one easy book for, the magician's access. Of course, anyone interested in growing and cultivating their own herbs for incense, producing oils and oleums, or any other type of product like bath salts and soaps should, of course, expect a little bit of a financial investment for this process, as well as a good amount of time and commitment for the endeavor. So, you might be able to, some of us might be able to start off with a little bit of cash here and there, but maybe on a very, very small scale. But, if you're really looking to have a go at the process and you have the space and for the commitment, expect that you're going to invest a small amount of money for this, type of project if you plan on adding gardening to your list of skills. So for those of us who don't have green thumbs, of course, or who are new to cultivating herbs for alchemical purposes, expect that there is going to be a good amount of learning. That learning curve is going to take some people more or less time in order to learn the material. Making oils and oleums, bath salts, soaps, incenses, not just granular incense, but she also teaches you how to take blanks for cones and stick incenses and make that type of product. Excuse me, as well as tinctures, salves, condensers, and much more. One thing that I do like to point out, though, is that the author does recommend that the student become knowledgeable, if they aren't already, on what kind of native plants and herbs are growing within their own neighborhood or local forests, as well as state parks. Know where these cultivation beds are at, so that you can acquire these herbs for yourself. And not only does it help you to acquire them, but it teaches you what is already available to you locally, that you don't need to go out and purchase, or either like at a herbal shop or through an online supplier. Of course, having doing something like that, does take a little bit of time, and it does take some planning and some effort in order to be able to do that. But when you are foraging for your herbs, be certain to take only what you need. This is another thing that she does stress throughout the book, because if you do over cultivate within a certain area, you are risking the potential of wiping out that crop, or which is a valuable resource for you. If you wipe that crop out within that certain area, it can just very well be lost to you, and then you have to find another place to go. So always just take what you need, in other words. And for this reason, if you are serious about pursuing your own horticultural efforts, by going out and collecting and foraging, I suggest that you might want to also look into a possible idea of like a replanting program. I mean, we obviously do that with trees, for that for a particular purpose, that crops don't get wiped out entirely. So if you are going out and you are cultivating something from the local forest, do you want to take additional plants with you and replant those? or seedlings or something like that, so that you have a steady resource and a steady supply of crop for future endeavors. Of course, that's only a suggestion. So another one of my recommendations that I would have for you, if this is something that you do want to do, is to check out with your local nature centers, your nature preserves in the area. See if they have someone on staff to assist you. They could probably tell you what kind of plants can be found locally in your area. They might even have someone on staff that could probably help identify plants for you if you've cultivated something and you're not certain what it is. You might want to take it to one of these nature centers and ask them to identify it. You might also want to check with state colleges, community colleges, or universities. Any school that has a botany or a science department is probably going to have someone on staff or experience in some type of horticulture that could assist you with plant identification if you are uncertain with what you're dealing with. Of course, finally, I would also suggest that you check out your local paper, or go online, or check out something like check out the Meetup app. See if there's a local botany or horticultural groups in your area that you could get involved with. I'm not telling you that you need to tell them what it is that you're practicing or anything, but obviously just go in and say, hey, I'm interested in learning more about plants. I want to be able to cultivate or forage something locally. See if there's someone that you can connect with in those types of groups. Obviously, like-minded people will certainly shorten your learning curve and help you learn possibly where some of the best foraging areas are for the types of plants that you're looking for. And since the majority of the focus is on producing alchemical formulas in this book, you will find sections on producing a variety of formularies and mixtures and recipes, hexing and crossing formulas, divination recipes, making magical inks, and a whole lot more. Also, students that are familiar or that practice things like the Ducante, demons, hierarchy. There's going to be formulary associated with those demons in this book, as well as formulary for Goetia demons and demons from the Grimoire Verum. So if you're looking to want to contact one of those types of demons, having recipe, either oil or incenses that you've made personally for such a undertaking or event may prove useful for you, as opposed to just using like a standard like temple incense or something like that. Finally, the book does wrap up on ways that you can start your own garden from seedlings. Discusses things such as simulating stratification, using aeroponics and hydroponics for your growing efforts, growing within outdoor gardens, using different potting methods, and even a suggestion of building or using a greenhouse for those that have space. That way you have a continuous supply of herbs that you can grow year-round and cultivate. And as well as the book also discusses providing necessary nutrients to young and growing plants and natural pest control. But once you learn what you can forage locally, and you can then have a better idea of how much time and money you're going to be able to invest into, say, like a dedicated garden at that point. Because obviously, if you're cultivating locally in your area, through state parks or other preserves or anything like that, you're gonna know what you're gonna be able to get on a regular basis, and then you can then focus more on, say, obscure plants, like in your garden, or other species that are generally not obtainable from your area. And of course, even if you are not a left-handed path practitioner or a practicing demonolater, I do highly recommend this book to you for really any magical library. And if you are a demonolater, I believe that this should be one of your core books for your library, as it does provide valuable knowledge to make formulas for your magical practices, and using something that you've made specifically for a ritual does provide you with a great sense of satisfaction. At least it does for me, as opposed to just going out and buying something and putting it together yourself, or buying something that's already pre-made for you. It's already it's in there. So with that, I'm just going to cut this video short today. But if you are interested in purchasing the Wortcunning for Daemonolatry formula for the Daemonolater Alchemist and Gardener by Connolly, there is a link in the description box below there. Press on that link and you'll be taken directly to the book on Amazon.com, where you can make that purchase. And remember to hit that like button down below and leave a comment for me. And please subscribe to my channel if you want to remain updated for any future videos that I release in the future, of course. So, with that, I'm going to say go ahead and take care, folks, and enjoy your Sunday afternoon. And with that, I wish you a fond farewell. Take care. Bye.